It's been a good week of racing so far, and I'm excited to cap it off with a good show here at Richmond.
Exactly. A good show here at Richmond is brought to you by Davis Brothers Roofing. This is Sunday Night NASCAR and Sim Racing Media bringing it to you. Just really excited about this race, man. Like you said, lots of playoff implications. Two races remain in the round of 16. Of course, this is Richmond. It is a 0.72 mile track, so we're just keep getting shorter and shorter. And I think we're going to Bristol next week.
Bristol next week, baby.
Dang, so it's going to be a fun time, guys. These guys know how to ride. They know how to drive these things around here. So we're going to see just what they can do, guys. We appreciate you showing up. And Liam, let's go ahead and I think everyone's about finishing up.
Yeah, it's looking like almost everyone who's going to qualify has. I think we've got 20 people who have qualified and maybe 9 that have elected not to qualify or haven't put down a lap yet as we're closing down. A couple seconds left here. Tony Burt, you see, putting a lap down there in the 43 car.
Trying to.
Now you got kicked off track because qualifying's over now.
Definitely.
Not going to improve on that starting spot. Go ahead.
Go ahead and give these guys a chance to show up in here. And then I will go over the grid. Again, guys, we are happy to have you here both on Facebook and YouTube. You can go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe, all that other cool stuff we ask you to do. We appreciate it. And be sure and comment. Tell us who you're rooting for. Tell us what is you want to see the best. What are you excited about in this race? As I am excited to bring it to you. So it should be a good one. We got Austin Story starting out up front. RJ Root behind him in second. Second row, Daniel Simmons. Outside is going to be Joe Stafford battling for the playoffs here. Already has one win, one last week. We got Joseph Lester. He's not in there yet, but Bennett Allen is in 6th. 7th is going to be David Love. 8th, Ryan Samuelson. 9th, Barrett Coffey. 10th, Randy Spivey. 11th, Robert Nestor on his outside. Going to be Dalton Mobley ending row 6. Row 7 is going to start with Jamie Knopf. Seba Cornez on his outside. Charles Eaton in 15th. Matt Gaskins in that beautiful 79 Ford is going to be 16th. Chad Sanders 17th. Josh Ward 18th. 19th is going to be Devin Medeiros. And then 20th, Warren Young. So in that top 20, we've already talked about a lot of these guys. Go ahead and bring up these standings. Here we got Joe Stafford up front. RJ Root. Seba Cornez. All these guys in the top 25 ready to rock. Just excited to do some racing here.
Yeah, I mean, the short track under the lights, we're about to get these cars rolling here. Short track action under the lights always has a special feel to it, and there's a lot of guys hoping to turn around their luck. Obviously, we talked about point situation. You got J.C. Gibson, who's rocking 16th in the points right now after losing 8 spots. Barrett Coffey lost 9 spots in the points after last week, so trying to get a rebound there. Looking at, like I said, 16 points between 16th and 12th to try to get up to get into that cutoff spot. But the big remedy is winning. You win, and you're going to move forward into the next round. It's going to be a tough one, boys.
It will be, as we're going to. I think we have. There we go. Going to be 2 to go. So go ahead and finish out our other grid, the second half of that grid.
Yeah, once you get to P20, after P20, we've got Donnie Gatton, playoff driver, starting 21st. Chris Cloud, another playoff driver at 22nd, trying to get a couple spots, both of them. Dave Regal, running 23rd. Steve Dardaris, another playoff guy, running 24th. Troy Hutchison, 25th. Benjamin Hart and Lauren Jones and Nicholas Breidenbach, both playoff guys. And that rounds out everybody who put down a time. And we've got Alex Princeton, Marty Roberts, Jarrett Phillips, Derek Jacobs, Kavaja Holt, our furthest back starting playoff driver, starting 33rd. John Bawalda Jr., John Bawalda, Cody Strom, and Tony Burt rounds out the grid. Pace car's going to roll off here. No, pace car's got the lights on. My bad. Trying to hurry up there to get her done, but
So
Yeah, man, this could be.
just a full field. It's crazy that these guys can pull this consistently here.
Oh yeah, and you get 40 cars around here. I think we got 37 cars around here. That's gonna, even if we get strung out, you're not gonna have more than 3-4 car lengths between you and another car. You might be able to get a second gap here or there, but lapped cars are gonna be a factor. Getting around lap traffic is gonna be huge. We even saw the Xfinity race with Tommy Joe Martins getting caught up behind a lapped car coming to a stage end. Obviously, we don't do stages, but anything can happen here on a short track. It's Sunday night, but it's got that Saturday night feel. We're going to watch the pace car pull in. Let the horses fly. Green flag is out. We are racing at Richmond. The DBR 200 is underway.
Got Austin Story getting beat on the outside. RJ Root taking advantage of that high banking. Everybody behind him gets rolling.
I thought he had made a mistake there with his, I thought he went wide there, and RJ Root, he stuck that top side very well. As we see the, I'm looking at
45 of Joseph Lester. Trying to make his way through, starting where he's at. But Daniel Simmons, possibly a tire spin or something. He is 3 spots down from where he started already on lap 2 of 200. There we go. Got it right there.
Yep. Yeah, and I know it's a short track. A lot can happen, but track position is going to be huge. These tires are going to wear out quick. It's an older surface, so we see a slow car on the front straightaway there. 75 with potentially an issue. Charles Eaton pulling off the track on the apron. But yeah, like I said, track position is going to be huge. It's going to be tough to pass. It's going to be, see another car going down to the pits there. It's going to be tough to make passes on people because everybody's just going to be dealing with kind of the same handling situations. You're going to have to work on a guy for probably a couple corners to set him up to make the pass.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you can even catch him, it takes so much effort and consistency to pass here and make something work. Looking at Nicholas Breidenbach working on Steve Dardaris. These guys both playoff drivers. Huge implications in this battle.
You saw Breidenbach slide there coming up on turn 4, and he got the position there over Dardaris, but man, that was quite the slide. You know, I love to talk about the tires. We can make that a running joke, but put a lot of heat on him early. He's gonna have to maybe take it easy the next couple laps. That's an easier exit there. He's not racing anybody side by side this time, so it's working out a bit better as we jump to Daniel Simmons here. Like you said, he lost a few spots there on the start, down 3 from his 3rd place starting spot. So he's just trying to settle in, find himself a groove here, more than likely. 200 laps it's a very short, long time. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, these laps will click by like no other, but it's still a long race.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I do, again, like, let's just check in on our playoff drivers. We got Joe Stafford right now. He is running 2nd, but he's got the win. He's locked in. But right behind him is RJ, or right in front of him, I'm sorry, is RJ Root and Ryan Samuelson. These guys, fantastic drivers, driving really well, but anything can happen at Richmond. I'm actually surprised that we've been going as long as we have.
Yeah, these guys have been playing pretty nice so far to start. A lot of room is being given. Not a lot of people are forcing their nose into places that you might not, that you might be more keen to do later in the race. So it's been pretty clean so far. You love to see a good clean start to a short track race. It certainly has the ability to be chaotic with that many cars going into the corner at the same time. But these guys, they played nice. They got it done clean, and they're rolling. They're on lap 10 now. And like you mentioned with their point situation, RJ Root out there in the lead. He wins this race. He's going into the next round, no worries. I mean, he's done pretty well all year. He's leading the series in wins. He's won 6 races so far. Could tonight be the 7th? It's only lap 11. It's too early, but he could make his next week a lot less stressful by just keeping those cars behind him. A lot easier said than done, though.
Definitely a lot easier said than done. As you said, let's take a look at Holt, the guy who really needs something to happen here. So tell me about what they would really need coming into this to have a chance. These bottom 4 drivers.
Holt sitting at 14th in points just needs to get up there and pass as many cars as he can, to put it simply. I mean, he started at the back. He didn't get a lap down in qualifying. He seems to have some strong pace. Right now he's up 10 spots from where he started. So, I mean, that's a strong look for him at the start right now. He just needs to kind of keep doing what he's doing, make these passes. You see Chris Claude gives him the inside. So he's going to get another spot up now, up 11. Keeping your nose clean is going to be the most important thing, and that's a tough job when you come back from starting 33rd. But he's doing a great job getting through the field now. Running in 22nd behind a side-by-side battle with Devin Medeiros and Alex Princeton. These guys going tough into one, but Princeton's going to get the better of that as Medeiros comes down in front of Holt there. A little sideways there for Devin Medeiros coming up off of 2. Just a touch. Like I mentioned, you're going to see guys sliding around as these tires wear out. It's, I mean, Richmond tends to trend green in a lot of senses. So, I don't know. Could we see some green flag pit stops tonight at a short track? So you see Holt getting past Medeiros there. Oh, we got a car sideways down the back. Lauren Jones gets sideways. Might have hit the inside wall. I don't think we've got a caution yet. But that Cheetos machine got sideways off of 2, made contact with the inside wall. That's a tough deal for Lauren. That's a playoff driver having trouble early in this race here at Richmond. Looks like Lauren is down to 27th position across the line, maybe further back.
Yeah, Lauren Jones, another driver, really has to show up here, and keeping that thing straight is one way to do it, but we are shuffling around here as everybody is moving around. Go back up front. RJ Root's about to lap Lauren Jones.
Yeah, that damage isn't going to make it any easier for Lauren to stay on the lead lap either. Root's gotten out to about a 2.5-second lead, just about 2.3, 2.4 right now. He's looking strong to start. Obviously, the issue for Lauren Jones doesn't help anything, but it just brings lap traffic closer, and there's a potential for that gap to get smaller.
Yeah, definitely, and especially, like you said, different pit strategies are going to come into play, and depending on once lap traffic comes into play, that is going to be huge for these guys. We see Austin Story trying to take it to Joe Stafford. Joe, nothing to lose here. He's locked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going trophy hunting.
Might as well. The more points you can carry in, the better.
Yeah, we got Daniel Simmons making a move on Bennett Allen there for the 6th position. Nice clean pass getting done there. Now Allen got close to the back end there. Another side-by-side battle coming up off the corner here. You see Barrett Coffey and Randy Spivey side-by-side. Steve Cornez trying to maybe get around in both.
Go back. Their lap car getting a little squirrely there. Sorry, not a lap car. That's Bennett Allen in the 32 car.
Oh, he's going on the apron. Who's that on the apron? Slowing down just a little bit there. It looked like Ryan.
Sure, whoever it was, they didn't show up.
No problem for the leader getting around Lauren Jones, though. So RJ moves forward. Next lap car is not too crazy far ahead.
I was seeing our track.
Yeah, they're getting up. Marty Roberts is about to get lapped here. A couple car lengths in front of RJ Root down the back straightaway. Gives way for the leader. No issues there.
And that's what you like to see. Good sportsmanship. Always good sportsmanship here at Sunday Night NASCAR. Again, brought to you by Davis Brothers Roofing. If you need roofing, residential or commercial in the Tennessee area, them holler. Hearing a call out for a wreck. Let's see if we can see it.
I haven't seen any crashes yet, but
It sounded to me like it was Chris Claude calling it out. Derek Jacobs just jumped to the pits.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
See anything. Who's turning left?
Yeah, it looks like on lap 22, Steve Dardaris on the Skull Bandit, I believe the 25, made a little bit of contact. That doesn't look to be a big deal. I'm just trying to focus on Chris for a moment the last few laps. I'm not entirely sure, but we're still rolling. We're still racing.
Now
And,
Austin Story's got Joseph Lester on his back. 3 Toyotas. See, Joseph showed us last week he's going to try and come in here and win. Not about just letting the playoff drivers get by. He's going to come in here and try and win. That's what he did, and we saw a super good finish at the end of that race for it. So definitely a interesting finish there. Going to double overtime, I believe.
yeah, and that's the thing you love to see. I mean, I know we've got 16 playoff guys out here with a chance to go and win $300 for the championship, but these guys not in the playoffs. They've got a prize to race for too. I mean, the first non-playoff finishing driver is going to win a Buttkicker, and you know, that's a super exciting prize in itself. But you come out Sunday night NASCAR, you get a trophy. Caution's out. We've got an issue somewhere on the racetrack. That's gonna bunch the field up after 25 or so laps. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened here. My camera's kind of jumping around just a touch.
See what I can find. John S. Walda Jr. This is what I saw.
Yeah, here we go. Looks like Steve Dardaris
Ooh.
racing side by side there. Got a piece of it. Spins down to the inside, just barely touches the inside wall, but apparently enough to still warrant a caution. Steve Dardaris with a little bit of left rear damage, but nothing too bad. Yeah, you see the slow-mo there. I mean, it was excellent save by the 71. You see Chris Cloud getting around there. Excellent save by the 3. Looks like he comes down and just clips, what was that, the 75 going by him? Charles Eaton just got him in the right rear. And, well, that could have been a lot worse. You never like to see playoff guys having trouble, but, yeah, we got everybody coming in this time. It's been 30 laps. We've got a lot of heat in these tires.
Yeah, definitely time to come in. This league doesn't do a whole lot of extra tire sets, no fast repairs. So if whatever you can do to get in there and try and get yourself an advantage, these guys are going to do. Make adjustments. This is the open league.
Yeah.
These adjustments are going to be huge going through because now they know what they need to do on old tires.
Yeah, this was a good.
I'm going to go ahead and bring in Kavaja Holt.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Kavaja, it's James and Liam in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Hey, man, I just want to talk to you, check in. You're up 16 positions so far. I just want to ask, how's the car handling, and what are we looking at for the race?
It's handling really good. Just hope to keep getting some long green flag runs, and it'll really take off then, hopefully.
All right, what has been, how hard has it been to get past cars here? Tell us how you set up a pass. What do we need to look at?
It's a whole lot better than what I thought it was going to be, but just being patient, man, that's the key to it. Got a couple cars held me up, but so far it hadn't been too bad. But yeah, just patience is the main thing, and but so far some clean racing.
Yeah, definitely been some clean racing going on. Obviously, you started at the back. You didn't get a lap time down in qualifying. Was there anything behind that, or just kind of felt like starting at the back? Or
no, I really didn't want to start in the back. I just slid sideways across the start-finish line going into my second lap, so it canceled both of them out.
Oh man, that stinks. Well, I mean it slowed the start of your race, but you're definitely making a lot of progress. It's been a lot of fun to watch you drive through the field here.
All right, buddy. Hopefully I'll be up front soon.
All right, bud. We'll see you there.
All right, buddy.
Kavaja Holt joining us in the middle of the race here, under caution. 33 laps in the race. Super nice of him to drop by. That's it's a man on a mission right there. Like we said, he started 33rd. He's currently sitting in, looks like P16. So after pit stops, might have gained an extra spot or two. Up 17 from the initial start, so that's a great deal for him. It looks like we're doubling up here, getting ready for the restart.
Before we get that going, I mean, think of Kavaja Holt. What he's in a not a must-win, but he's definitely in a must-do-well situation. As he's down 9 points from the cutoff with only 5 playoff points that he brought with him. So definitely hoping to pass as many of these guys as he can, and hope to keep that car clean.
Yeah, definitely the points game is going to be tough, but the one guy he needs to worry about passing right now is RJ Root, who's going to lead us to the restart. The pace car goes in, and he goes right away. RJ Root leads us to the green flag. Stafford with a nice run on the outside. Joseph Lester staying on the outside of Austin Story, side by side, going into one. Look at that 57 ring the outside. The 45 is going to try to follow him, coming up off of turn 2. He got sideways, but still holds on to the lead. Wow! Here comes the 45, Joseph Lester on the outside, trying to keep his fender there, but doesn't quite have it. Gets cleared by the 57, side by side for third. Now, Lester looks down to the bottom for the lead. This is totally different from the initial start we saw when RJ Root got out front early. Lester slides up into the 57, got sideways up off of 2. Now he's going to yield, falls back behind the 57 of Joe Stafford. RJ Root is having a time right now. He's sitting on the top 3 wide. He's losing positions left and right. Down 4 from the start, I believe. Down 5 from the restart. After restarting in the lead, lost the lead on the outside. Now he's got the 4 car on his inside. That's Barrett Coffee. Look at that. Look at that camera. I love this. You see how hard these guys are getting into the corner? Seba Cornez is going to get within inches. Look into the inside. Maybe make it a 3 wide. Not quite this time. RJ Root is having a time right now. He hasn't raced around cars all night, and now he's in the thick of it. What do you make of this, man? This has been an insane restart.
Yeah, just you see everybody getting a little squirrely coming off these turns and getting these tires. Those cold tires are just as bad as warm tires, as a lot of people I think found out there.
Yeah, everybody pushing.
Go up to Kavaja, who we talked to earlier. He is making this thing work. Still gaining, still passing people. Jamie Knopp, Dalton Mobley in his sights right now.
Hey, look to the middle here, make it 3 wide. He's gonna get a nice run on the 18 though. Try to move up to the outside. It's faster to get up to the wall quicker, just because you're kind of taking away less rolling resistance on your tires. But I mean, it's not always that way. I guess it depends on how your car is set up, because some of these guys have really been able to dig the bottom coming up off these corners. Caution is back out once again. These guys are going to check up. Not totally sure what has happened at the moment, but we do have a caution on the track. Let's scroll back here, try to figure out what happened to bring that out.
I've got Matt Gaskin.
Oh yeah,
That
turn
was
2
right,
bumps again.
right behind what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's a tough hit to the inside wall too. That's a heavy hit. These guys don't have fast repairs, so he's going to be in the pits for a little while. I don't know if that was worthy of a meatball, but definitely a tough hit. Not good for Matt Gaskins there, coming up off of
Take a look
turn
at
4 or turn 2 there rather.
Chris Klotz sees it happen, starts to check up. Just checks up just at the wrong spot. There's going to be a run at 75. The back room just a tiny bit, just enough. Lots going on here, folks. Cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, that is a fact, and especially when these guys have been running as hard as they have been. That restart was insane. Racing up front, watching Joe Stafford ring the outside on RJ Root there was something to see. I mean, obviously we were only 30 laps into the race when that first caution came out, but I didn't know if anybody was going to have anything for the 69 machine. He's fallen back a few spots. Wonder if he pitted. I'm seeing him scored in 25th. Oh, yeah. Did he stay out on that yellow?
No, he came in, pitted at 41. He had to have pit before. I'm not sure.
I know he retained the lead, so he either had a good pit stop or he tried staying out, maybe learned something, learned it wasn't going to work. But either way, if my scoring is correct, he's going to have some traffic here to deal with. Looks like he's going to be restarting the 22nd position, so tough break for him early, but at least it happens early. You've got about 150 laps to try to make this thing up. Came in the playoffs with the most playoff points. Has been a strong competitor, so I don't think he's super worried about points. I mean, you can never be too comfortable going into Bristol, but he's had a fast car. He started the race off, led the first 30 laps, got out to about a 2.5-second lead before that first caution, and then yeah, now he's got 24 or 22 cars in front of him that raced a lot harder this last time around versus the initial start. So
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll take a look at everybody once they get rolling. And from the blimp, we'll take a blimp view. Brought to you by Buttkicker.
We love Buttkicker. Like I mentioned before, we got the top finishing non-playoff driver in points is going to win themselves a Buttkicker. So shout out to them for helping make that happen. It's a good deal, and it's something I've been looking at getting as these guys are starting to double up here as they cross the line. Lights are off on the pace car. Well, we're almost 50 laps into this race. We've seen two completely different restarts. What do you think? Are we in for more chaos? Do you guys think they're gonna, or do you think they're gonna try to maybe get some more laps in?
Thinking blood's in the water. They're realizing they're about 25% done with this race. I don't know. I'm thinking we're more carnage to come, folks. If you're a sheet metal enthusiast, this is going to be your race to be at.
Yeah, look at the iRacing warehouse. We'll see. The pace car dives off Joe Stafford to lead us to the green. He goes right away. Joseph Lester can't stay with him. He's going to be a car length clear at the start-finish line. 23-11 teammates, second and third, I believe, or third and fourth rather. I believe they're teammates. They got a similar number font there. This blimp cam is awesome going through 1 and 2. You can see all these guys racing side by side. It's there's RJ Root already looking to make a move behind looks like Randy Spivey in the 14 of
Troy Hutchinson.
That's Troy Hutchinson. There he is. I was looking in front of RJ on the scoring, but he had gotten by him by the time I looked. So down to the inside of Jarrett Phillips there in the blue car. Trying to follow Spivey through. So you see Samuelson and Simmons running side by side there. Simmons trying to get down to the inside of Austin Story there. Story's going to close that door a little bit, run the middle line throughout, kind of block them both throughout the corner. But it looks like Samuelson's going to have the outside run off of 2 on Simmons here. He's going to have about half a car length on him. Oh, Simmons just got tight going into the corner, almost slid up into Samuelson. Man, that was a close moment there. He's going to slide in right behind him now. So we see Seba Cornez trying to look to the inside of Josh Ward. And who is that right behind him? Kavaja Holt into the top 10, up 23 spots. Like we heard Kavaja say, looking to the inside of Seba Cornez now. Kavaja said he got sideways coming up off of 4, got a 2X, lost of control, and so his laps didn't count. It was a tough deal for him. It started him at the back, but he's put on a strong run, still working on the inside of Seba Cornez. Looks like he should be clear. Oh, not quite. Seba stays there on the top side. 77 trying to follow the 15 through. Now the 15 has got the pass done.
Such an abrasive track here. You want to try and come up as soon as possible. Oh, as we catch Daniel Simmons.
Simmons saves it. Into the wall goes the 63 of Ward. Simmons with an incredible save. That's going to bring out a caution, but man, what car control by the 46 right there to not have another major issue. He was almost 90 degrees sideways there. Let's take a look at this. I think the 63 is just going to get into him, but watch his hands on the wheel here from this roll bar cam. Cranks it hard right, but as soon as he hits that apron, kind of feels like getting back going. He gets it straightened out before he overcorrects, keeps his foot in it. He doesn't even know the caution's out until now.
Yeah, fantastic job by Daniel Simmons there.
Man, you love to see that. That's That's the kind of action, that's the kind of talent you got here at Sunday Night NASCAR. These guys are, yeah, just a little bit of a misjudgment from the 63. Got into the back of the 46, and thankfully it wasn't a bigger incident than it was. We've had 3 cautions so far, and all of them have been relatively minor incidents minus the parties involved. But
yes, I know we were curious about what happened to RJ Root. Why don't we go ahead and pull him in and ask him?
yeah, let's do it.
RJ, it's James and Liam in the booth, man. Tell us what was going on. Why are you so far back, man?
Well, we were trying to pull a strategy call, and we didn't really want to take tires on lap 30. So we stayed out, and then we dropped like a rock because we were on 30 lap older tires, and we're working our way back through. We passed like 8 cars on that run, so we got a really fast car this week. And
yeah, I think you restarted 22nd. Looks like you're crossing the line 15th this time around. Obviously you were on rails and clean air out there, and staying out with the older tires didn't help too much. How many tire sets did they give you guys?
They gave us 5 extra sets.
Okay.
Which is why I really didn't want to waste a set so early. But we still got 4 sets left for the next 150 laps.
Yeah, man. Well, you certainly look strong out there. I mean, I'm sure you'll make your way back up to the front. You've been putting on a show, so.
Yeah, that's all I've got. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race, RJ.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, sorry for the awkwardness there. I didn't know if James had another question.
It's all good, guys. I really enjoy coming in here and talking to y'all.
I'm learning.
Need me to send you to G-Force Racing, right?
No, field filler.
You sure?
Yes.
RJ Root joining us.
Yeah, RJ Root, and the reason I said that is because G-Force is Joe Stafford, Justin Lester, all these guys. Sorry, no, Joe Stafford was in there last week. Might be on his own today, but Joseph Lester's in there. So all these guys, bitter rivals, as we're coming. 1 to go here. We're going to get side by side and lined out.
And just a correction earlier, I said 23-11 teammates. Obviously, we're talking about G-Fleurs racing there with the 23 and 32. So, and the 45, also another teammate there. Love that 45 monster car. Big Kurt Busch fan. Love to see a 45 monster car. Numbers moved up just a little bit. I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but the racing is still the same. We are doubling up here at Richmond. We see these guys working their way down the back straightaway. 56 laps complete. We got a 30-lap run out of the way early, but we've had a couple of quick cautions there. We've got, looks to me like 32 cars are still on the lead lap. Nope, 26, my bad. Pace car is in, green flag is out. The front row both get squirrely there, but Joe Lester's going to get away. Or Joe Stafford, rather. Joe Lester's going to stay right on his bumper. Side by side for 3rd place, you see Samuelson trying to make a move on the 32, Bennett Allen. Oh, he looks to the inside, sideways on entry there, side by side for the lead. As Joe Lester. These Joes are getting me confused up here. But these guys are racing hard. To the inside, Joe Lester. Stafford holds strong on the outside off of 2. He's got a big run there. Got a little bit squirrely. That might have taken away some momentum. Lester's going to dive it in.
Yeah, dives it in there. Joe Stafford decides to come in and get behind that draft, work it a little bit. As Bennett Allen back there has had a hard time holding off Ryan Samuelson. But Kavaja Holt wants to get involved.
Looking. Kavaja Holt up to 6th place. Looking to the inside of Ryan Samuelson now. He's at the door. No, Samuelson's holding pretty strong on the outside now, trying to get that run up off of 4. As we talked about, getting up next to the wall gets you a little bit more momentum, takes away a little bit of rolling friction, but Kavaja's been able to rock that bottom very well, and I don't know, man. It seems like he can make a pass anywhere. He's got the nose on Samuelson now as he dives into the corner, slides up just a little bit off the bottom. Austin Story maybe trying to take advantage there if he slid up a little bit more. Caution has just come out one more time. Got a spin in turns 3 and 4. That's our 70 car of David Love. Looks to be another small deal. Matt Gaskins there getting stopped up to avoid getting hit. Another car behind him stopping up. Excellent awareness from these guys, making sure not to make this a bigger deal. David Love, he's slow down the back, gets put 3 wide. Here comes, as that Spivey to his inside, just slides up off the bottom a little bit. It wasn't that hard of a hit, but it sent the 70 sideways out of control. And look at him gas it up here. He's doing everything he can to keep it off the wall. He's going to come down. Is that a little bit of contact there with the 5? Or that's the 9, rather. So the 9 of Donnie Gatton Jr. with a little bit of contact from the 70 trying to get through there. Steve Dardaris with it. Inches. Escaped by inches. Oh, and another late hit from the 28 there. The Skull Bandit, nowhere to go. Just trying to get stopped up. It's tough when you get on the banking. You can see the tire marks from where he was locked up. It's tough to have control when you're on, hot tires and you get locked up on the banking like that.
Yep. See if we can
jump on board with Steve Dardaris there for that. This is a nice angle. I like that.
Let's see how he avoided, just how little you can see here, and there's nowhere to go. Just absolutely scrapes by.
He was cutting it close there, but he got through and don't think he got any damage there. He's got a little crinkle on his left front from the earlier deal where him and the, I believe, 75 got together and brought out the first caution. But insane racing up front once again. Joseph Lester making a big move, a big dive through 3 and 4 to take the lead over Joe Stafford. I don't think we're going to see guys pit. We heard RJ Root talk about not wanting to use a set of tires 30 laps in, and now we're 60 laps in. We're a bit past that, so, and we've had a lot more caution laps. That definitely helps these guys keep the tires cool. Heat cycles might hurt, but
yeah, definitely. Anything to put excess wear on that tire, you do not want to have going on here. As the lights are still on, so just going over. That was David Love involved in that accident. Benjamin Harp, who's in the pit road right now. We saw him take the brunt of that. Matt Gaskins, let's one more time. What happened to the Skull Bandit?
Yeah, he was just coming in at the end, and car was stopped right in front of him. Might have had a bit more speed than he wanted to when he was coming through there. But, it's short track racing. Things happen real quick, and you come up on them real quick when you're only at a 3/4 mile track. So, bad deal for Benjamin Harp. That's going to put him, he might be out of the race at this point.
Possibly Chad Sanner, another one also involved in that. I know he's looking at playoff implications. Has to have a good race here. Chad Sanner in that 59.
I didn't see where he got involved there. What happened with him?
Might have been a slowdown. Could have been that he just barely tapped somebody afterwards.
Oh, looks like we're doubled up here. Joseph Lester on the inside. Pace car's lights are off. We got Barrett Coffey in 3rd, Bennett Allen in 4th. Lester waits a moment. Waiting longer than most people have. Green flag is out. That's a checked up start just a little bit. Tire spin on the front row. You see Lester almost getting sideways there as these guys are a mad scramble trying to get going from that. I wouldn't call it a late start. It's in the box, but we got contact. I heard that might be that 59 car you mentioned before. But yeah, maybe a little bit of mind games out of Joseph Lester there with the wait until the box to restart, whereas the other guys have gone pretty early in terms of when the pace car's gone off. You do have the option with iRacing to, once the pace car's off, that's fair game for the leader. But once the green flag comes out, You better be going.
Definitely as Alex Prinson's watching Kavaja Holt and Austin Story battle it out. Yellow flag.
Another caution has come out. Cautions breed cautions, baby. Short track race, and that's kind of how it goes. You think you get yourself into a rhythm, and then sit behind a pace car. I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
Oh, 55 gets right up. Right.
Oh, yeah, there's another monster car.
Maybe thought he was clear.
Yeah, they're almost 3 wide coming up off the corner, and yeah, that's the 70 car. That's Love involved in another one. Yeah, he might have thought he was clear there. They're just those 2 cars trying to go for one spot there, and didn't work out for either one of them. It's an unfortunate deal for both guys. As you see, the 55 must have immediately towed. That'd be my guess. Got off track pretty quick.
Probably so. Maybe a little bit of issue there because I don't know why you would take your car on that high line. So possibly a connection issue going on with that was 70.
70 of David Love along with 55 Marty Roberts.
Very interesting. So there you have it, folks. We're still lap 69, nice sub 200. Joseph Lester is leading. Joe Stafford is in second. Barrett Coffey in third. Bennett Allen in fourth, and Seba Cornez is in fifth. But it goes to show you how quickly these cars can bounce back. And you have drivers like RJ Root, who went down to 22nd, and Kavaja Holt, who started, what is that,
33rd. He started 33rd. He's got himself all the way up into the top 10 in 8th place, up 25 spots from the start. Well, we've got a moment here under caution. Let's give a little shout out to the YouTube comments. I see we got 11 people are tuned in right now. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm not sure how many are with us on Facebook at the moment, but thanks everybody for tuning in to watch the DBR 200 here at Richmond Raceway under the lights, short track action. Yeah, we've got 6 people on Facebook tuning in. That's a pretty good deal, boys. Thanks for showing up, supporting your favorite SNN drivers, and yeah, drop a comment. Let us know who you think's going to win this race. We see Michael Skinner says, "Let's go 69." Rollman said to interview Lester, so maybe under the next caution we can potentially do that, as it looks like. I don't know if we're coming to 2 to green here. I don't want to.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So maybe next yellow we can do that. Go for a go from Dennis Coffey. Let's go 22. That was a little while ago. So plenty of people out here showing support for their favorite SNN drivers. We love to see that. Thank you very much for tuning in, showing up. There's some good racing going on. We saw a 30-lap green flag run to start this race. RJ Root led every lap of that. And then the first caution happened. And we've kind of had an assortment of them since. As they come across the line here, I believe they're getting ready to double up. Yep, lights are off on the pace car. And so most of the incidents so far tonight have been relatively minor, 1, 2, 3 car spins. 79, Matt Gaskins hit the wall pretty hard on the inside. We saw David Love with 2 bad deals go on to bring out the last 2 cautions. But 72 laps into this race, we are going to restart with 128 to go. So we're not halfway yet. We still got plenty of short track racing going on tonight. I know it's going to blow my mind, just like it already has. This racing has been intense, especially up front, mid-pack. These guys don't want to give. Pace car dives off. We see this blimp cam, or chopper cam rather, blimp. A little bit earlier start for Lester there. He's going to get the jump, have a car length lead. By the time they get down into turn 1, the 4 car of Barrett Coffey gets into 3rd place. Looks like he's going to be clear of the 32 Bennett Allen. RJ Root has made his way back up to 5th place after dropping to 25th after pinning later than everybody else. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Contact with the 21 and the 22. Randy Spivey and who's that? Dave Regal made contact. More contact. The blue car's around on the front straightaway in the grass. That's Jarrett Phillips. He's going to stop here on the inside, try to get her going. I don't think no caution.
Yeah, no caution here. Joseph Lester still leading. Joe Stafford behind him, and Barrett Coffey in 3rd.
He stayed off the track. You see RJ Root trying to get around Bennett Allen for 4th place, trying to work his way back up to the front. We saw how strong he was to start this race, and he's just continuing to put on this show. Next one in his sights is Barrett Coffey in the 4 car, and he's going to try to look to the inside. Coffey doesn't want to give it to him yet, but a little squirrely from both of them there. RJ Root sideways almost a quarter of the way down the straightaway trying to get the power down. These tires are not happy with this surface. These guys are single file for the most part right now. You see a side-by-side battle a little bit back. You see Kavaja Holt. Caution is out once again. Kavaja Holt was looking to the inside of Seba Cornez, but the caution has come out one more time here at Richmond International Raceway. You see damage all over Tony Burt. Go ahead and take a look here what happened. Going down into 1. Nobody around him right now. There's a slow car. Oh, the 71 had a prior issue and just nowhere to go as he came down the track. He was probably trying to get down on the apron to avoid it here. And David Love is going to be around another one. He actually wasn't involved in this. We see the 14 just got in there, tagged the 71, just barely gets back by him. John Bawaldi Jr. getting turned around by the 14 of Troy Hutchison. Lauren Jones with nowhere to go as the car came down, and that's what sent the 71 down into the path of Tony Burt. So that's a bad deal for all of them. Looking at Troy Hutchison now as he slow-mos his way down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I want to see this. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know. That contact is definitely interesting. It could be short track racing. I don't know if there's a prior issue here, but it goes way into the corner there. And yeah, I don't know if the 71 was checking up for the 70, which was slow in front of him, and maybe just misanticipated the checkup in front of him for Troy, but still a bad deal for everybody. Looks like leaders are going to come in. The 45 car comes in. The 46 stays out. So potential split strategies here. Yeah, splitting strategies here. It looks like maybe these are some lapped cars that are also staying on track. You see the 18, Jamie Knopf. Oh, he's in second. These guys are staying out. These guys are playing a strategy call. Save a set of tires.
Taking a look under caution there. I got a notification that they crashed, but they did not. So yeah, just a group of folks deciding to come in. RJ Root, Bennett Allen, Kavaja Holt, Stephen Cornez, just pretty much all these guys back here.
Well, like we heard from RJ, we do have 5 tire sets. So if you use your second one here, it might not be the worst. It does only leave you 3 for 120 laps, but we did mention, we saw somebody in the comments saying to interview Lester, so might not be a bad time to do that. Yeah, it looks like Matt Gaskins and Chris Cloud made contact there. Oh, it looked like they were doubled up for a second, but
yeah, they're doubling up a little prematurely there. But talking
all right.
about, we'll get him in here as we see Chris Cloud come in. Chris got the lucky dog, so that's why I was focusing on the 10 car. Chris able to get around, so it's always something too when this goes on, as you see those lap cars. Now it's going to be David Love. He can turn things around. We know he's fast. He put down a blazing speed to be top 10 qualifying.
He ran a 21:52 in qualifying, which was probably, I mean, it was less than 2/10 off the pole. Austin Soria's pole time was a 21:38, 33.88, so he's definitely got pace in that car. It's a little tougher without a front end. It looks like we're doubled up here, so good call to not pull Lester in. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see this play out. This restart's going to be wild. We've got guys in the front on older tires. Looking at guys like Daniel Simmons. Jamie Knopf hasn't been up front all night, but taking this opportunity to try to get out front, get some track position. Lap 81, we're going to have 119 to go on the restart.
This is where I'm going to be watching. It's the 18 of Jamie Knopf on old tires.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Pace car is in. Simmons goes. Clean so far. Simmons is clear. Jamie Knopf running second place. And to the inside looks Josh Ward, who's going to get past 3 wide for second place through the middle. So we see the slow car of Garrett Phillips there, I think. But yeah, look at Josh Ward trying to make move. Cautions come out once again. Big crash in turn 3. We see 3 cars have spun out at least. The 12 is in the wall hard. Austin Story, our pole sitter, with an issue. That's, man, that's tough. It's tough to get a rhythm going when you get all these cautions, and you know it's tough to, or it's easy to sit and think like, can we just do this? But I mean, you got 35 guys out here trying their best to put on a show, and we'll see here as they go into the corner. Devin Medeiros, yeah, unfortunately gets into Austin Story, takes him out. The 19 has nowhere to go. The 12 just plowed in at the end, trying to get stopped up for it, and didn't have a hole. So. That's a stinky deal. Stinky for these guys. We'll watch it one more time here. Devin Medeiros from about a car length back jumps into 3. I don't know that was a pass that was going to happen, but went in there. You see the Jarrett Phillips car, I think, getting caught up in that at Function Art. The 19 back coming down the track, Caribou Coffee car. Matt Gaskins crawling his way through here. It's probably been our biggest incident of the night. Not quite a big one like we're used to seeing at Richmond when they get down into turn 3 and it kind of pinches up. We've seen in the Cup Series plenty of times getting turned around at this spot on the back straightaway going down into turn 3 where it wads up a lot of cars. But I believe we've only got 6 or so cars that actually took damage in this. I don't think the 12's damage is awful. I don't think the 21's is either. Story might have some tough damage there, but yeah, it's just hard racing. Everybody's trying to get everything they can on the restart. You got guys on fresher tires than other guys. That could have very well been the situation. Medeiros could have had plenty fresher tires. He might have been a second faster. I don't see their last pit lap. Oh, I see it now. But yeah, Devin Medeiros last pitted on lap 77, so just under that last caution, whereas 23 of Austin Story, he's in the pits now. I can't see when he last pitted, but he may have very well been on old tires, and that would definitely explain the closing rate going down into turn 3. If you don't expect a guy to be that slow on older tires, it can definitely cause a collision like that. So a bad deal for everybody involved. Looks like most everyone is able to drive away. You saw Story pulling off the pits there, so he's not out of the race yet. You see the 55, another damaged car. That's Marty Roberts. He's had a tough night so far, but with the attrition that's been showing with this short track event, it's been well, I'm sure he can get some points out of this still, if that matters to him.
Yeah, definitely. Just checking in on the series. Just the guys we're worried about. Nicholas Breidenbach on the bubble because of a late accident. He's running 15th, so really good points there. But starting from the bottom, we've got our first playoff driver, I believe.
J.C. Gibson. Or are you talking the bottom of the standings or the bottom of the running order now?
Bottom of the running.
Bottom of the running order, I would say. Try to match up names here.
I believe it's Austin Story. And super unfortunate for him. He's got to get some points, got to get out there. And just try and, if you got to hold this thing together by duct tape, you got to get it in there and try to do so.
Yeah, Austin Story was 5th place in points coming in here, only 15 points ahead of the cutoff line, ahead of 12th place. So it's
I think we went green. We're green, folks.
We must not have caught up after the caution there. That's an unfortunate deal. Technical difficulties on our part. They're 3 wide there. The 59's getting past. He's slow on the outside. A lot of things are going to be upside down in this running order with the way that the pit stops and strategy has split up so far. You see RJ Root taking a move down to the inside of Jamie Knopf. We know Jamie stayed out on tires, so that's going to be a fairly easy pass to make. Now looking at Ryan Samuelson. Steve Dardaris getting stuck behind Knopf there on the outside back there. Kavaja Holt trying to take advantage of the Steve Dardaris car being slower. And there's the 32, Bennett Allen. Trying to get back up to the front. He'd been running top 5 all night. Looking to the outside of Kavaja Holt as Jamie Knopf continues to struggle on these old tires, dropping back place after place. It could still be a good call. There's a lot of race left. We're not quite at halfway as Kavaja Holt had a close moment there with the 18. To see Samuelson looking down to the inside of Ward. RJ Root trying to follow here. Samuelson and Root are teammates, aren't they? Running a field filler? Believe so. See, Daniel Simmons out to a strong lead, almost half a straightaway here on second place Ryan Samuelson. But Samuelson's got about 7 lap fresher tires, and RJ Root has 10 lap fresher tires that Samuelson does.
But so, Josh Ward's going to drop to the bottom and try and switch it back.
Yeah, he's got 15 lap older tires than Root, and he's still trying to make it happen. You see Joe Stafford, he led a lot of laps early, making a move to the inside of Ward, trying to take advantage of the loss of momentum, diving to the bottom there. But Ward is running that outside phenomenally. Even with those old tires, he's still holding pace. Got about he's to his door still. He's not going to be able to hold on to this position from Stafford. But he's putting out a heck of a show running out there on old tires, trying to make a pass on what's arguably the fastest car on the racetrack, and then holding off another car who's led plenty of laps. Looks like Samuelson got a little bit squirrely there and is now losing a few spots. Josh Ward to the inside of Ryan Samuelson as they go down into turn number 1. He's at his door. Bumper just about. He's trying to gas it up and stay on the inside of Samuelson, but those tires just won't hold. You see Bennett Allen, trying to look to the inside of Kavaja Holt. Holt's not really pushing super hard right now. He pitted last on 77, so he's got pretty fresh tires in comparison to a lot of these guys in front of him. Contact! Kavaja Holt gets turned to the inside. He's going to save the car. He's going to keep it from spinning out. Doesn't hit anything. Incredible car control out of Kavaja Holt. Unfortunate deal for him. He's down to 16th place now after running in the top 10, working his way through the field. He's got to try to get his head back on his shoulders, recover here, and cool those tires down a bit. That was a hefty slide there. We're going to look at a replay here. The 32, Bennett Allen, he's coming up off the corner. You see Holt sideways already. Oh, wow, yeah, the 32 hit the wall pretty hard there. But you could see Holt getting sideways coming up off the corner, and at that closing rate, there was just nowhere for the 32 of Bennett Allen to go. He's going to get into the back of him off of turn number 2 and unfortunately get himself in the wall. You could see he was sideways before the contact was made, and that had to have been what did the trick. But RJ Root, a car length off of our leader, Daniel Simmons now. This is the race for the lead. RJ Root led the first 30 laps of this race. He's now looking to the inside of Simmons. He's in no rush. He knows his tires are 15 laps, 18 laps fresher. He's going to get right to that back bumper there. Let's stop and think about the fact that before RJ Root makes this pass, Daniel Simmons leading this race got turned probably 85 degrees sideways through turns 1 and 2, held onto the car, and was able to keep it from hitting anything major. Now RJ Root looks to the inside. We've got a lapped car that Simmons will more than likely try to use as a pick if he can time it right. Root's not. I don't think he's pushing too hard to make the move, but he's sat behind him a little bit longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, well, he's on much fresher tires, so he definitely has the opportunity to just kind of wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Stafford's about 0.8 seconds behind him, and then 2 seconds to his teammate Ryan Samuelson. So he's just going to put it in as tight as he can and just let the 46 make a mistake and give him the opportunity to take the bottom, so he doesn't have to use up all those tires trying to make a real aggressive pass. He's going to try and save him.
Yeah, and the 46, Daniel Simmons, puts up no fight as they go through 1 and 2. He knows he's got 17 lap older tires than RJ Root, but he is putting on a show. He's doing great running up there in the top 2 right now.
And going through the field, of course, Kavaja with that issue, but that Devin Medeiros and Nicholas Breidenbach both needed this to happen. Nicholas is in the playoffs as well, trying to make a run here. He is to the good so far, but just got to get as many points as he can. He smells blood and water.
Yeah, Kavaja Holt only 9 points behind Nicholas Breidenbach coming into this race. So being a few spots in front, that's going to cut that gap just a little bit. But he'd obviously like to go up there and gain some more spots. He has gained a few more since since his incident there. He's up to 12th. I believe he fell back to 16th after getting contact from the 23 after getting sideways off of 2. So a good recovery so far. He's going to continue to try to extend that gap. He's only got 2 cars between him and with him and Breidenbach now, so.
Now I'm taking a look at Donnie Gatton Jr. and Austin Story. These guys are right now, as it sits, the first car is a lap down. So an actual lucky dog battle here going on.
Oh, a little bump there to Austin Story there from what looked like, is that Jarrett Phillips? I'm not sure. I don't know the number on that blue car there, but
It doesn't have one. That must be a lap car.
it's definitely, it is a lapped car, but
Jarrett Phillips.
yep.
You're right.
A little bit of bump there. Lauren Jones back there, the other car that's a playoff car rather, that's 1 lap down, hoping to be able to get up there, but that was a lot of damage to the front end of that car, so I'd imagine Lauren might be down on a little bit of horsepower here, hoping for a little bit more attrition in terms of gaining points on these guys. It stinks to be the last playoff guy running, but there are 10 cars below you at this point, so I mean, there's it's better than finishing last.
Definitely.
Tough to take a positive away from a day like that Lauren has had.
And it's not over. We're only at 107 of 200, so we got some time.
Oh, I accidentally hit thanks a few times, but that's funny. So you see they're getting around the 71 car there, no issue or no fight rather put up by the 71 there. Knows he's off the pace and it's not going to get in the way of the leaders here. Seba Cornez looking down to the inside of Ryan Samuelson as you see Samuelson's actually got about 9 lap older tires, so might not be too much of a fight there. There's the 32, Bennett Allen trying to get to the inside of Cornez. Cornez slipped up just a little bit there, and the 32 tried to capitalize, but there wasn't enough there. Wasn't enough of a slip to get down there. Ryan Samuelson continues to lose spots on these older tires, and we've got 12 cars running up next to the wall here, trying to stay out the way as Luce gets the 71 off of turn number 2. Caution is out. We saw one car getting sideways down the back straightaway, and that's it. Matt Gaskins sideways down the back straightaway. I don't think he hit anything, but we saw it out of the corner of our camera view there as we were cutting away into 3. Car got sideways down the back straightaway, and that's going to bring out yet another caution tonight. See what happened here to Gaskins. Looks like he's running by himself unless something hasn't loaded for me. Maybe just... Oh, he does hit the wall. That's a tough deal for him. I knew he was already a little bit bent up on the front end, so it's a bad deal for him. Yeah, that transition from the banking, it just caught him off guard, and you get to a point where, yeah, I guess you can either try to save it or you can just lock it down and expect that you're wrecking, and Gaskins was trying to save it there, trying to keep it off the wall, trying to spin it back up to not hit the wall, and unfortunately just kissed it with that front end and got more pit stops. RJ Root coming back down. Daniel Simmons obviously would hope is coming down at this point, which he is, having run so many laps on those tires. He last pitted at 66. That's over 45 laps ago. So everybody's in pit road now, just about 85 laps to go roughly when we get the restart. Well, we're under caution. What are you thinking, chat? This racing has been insane so far. RJ Root is on rails. The 57 and 45 we're putting on a show. What you guys thinking? I mean, I already got what I signed up for. I'm just getting more, cherry on top.
We see Cornez stays out with Troy Hutchinson.
That could be a good call later on in the race. I mean, we've seen the gap on tires between Austin Story and Devin Medeiros before that incident before. And obviously with the 46, or not the 46, with the 18 was the one who majorly fell back. It's not a bad idea, though, while we've got a moment in time. We can talk about our playoff guys. Got Seba Cornez obviously leading this race, having stayed out, running 4th in points, coming into this race about 11 points actually above Nicholas Breidenbach in 12th. So I guess he's actually got to be above Chad Sanner in 13th because that's the first guy out. But then we've got RJ Root. He's been strong all race. He looks like he crossed the line in 3rd last time around. He's, like I've said, he's got the most wins this season. He's been strong. He's been cutting through the field like no other. We got Joe Stafford running 5th place. Joe's a guy who, well, he doesn't need anything. He won the race last week, and, you know, all he wants is to win. That's all he's here for. Barrett Coffey and Ryan Samuelson, you see them, they're running 7th and 8th. Barrett Coffey is one of those guys that's towards the back. He lost a lot. He lost 9 spots after the race last week at Darlington in the playoffs. So he's hoping for a major recovery here, sitting about 20 points. Not 20, I'm sorry. He's 10 points behind 12. So he's looking for a good run. He's running 7th. Ryan Samuelson's another guy who's been up there. He's 2nd in points right now. But he's been running up front, running into top 10 all race. You love to see that. Kavaja Holt with a strong recovery after getting turned sideways in the middle of the corner there. Running 10th right now. After starting 33rd, you got to feel good about that for Kavaja Holt. And that's another driver who needs a strong run here in these playoffs. Looks like we're getting doubled up here, so I'll quickly run through the rest of them. Randy Spivey's running 13th, Chad Sanner in 14th, Nicholas Breidenbach in 15th. That's a guy who needs to run well. Steve Dardaris and Chris Cloud running 18th and 19th. Back on the lead lap is Chris Cloud, and I think he's 10th in points, so he can't afford a bad deal. Then Austin Story, Donnie Gatton, and Lauren Jones are the final playoff guys that we've got in the field. I think we're doubled up here. Trying to run through that quickly. The pace car's gone off. Seba Cornez on old tires. A little bit of a checkup in midfield. RJ Root with a fantastic restart. Jumps to the outside of Seba Cornez. Going down into turn number 1. He's going to have this pass probably complete before the corner is over. He pinches down Cornez with nothing to do. Stafford gets a little bit sideways there. Down to the inside goes Stafford, and look at this gaggle we've got back here. There's 5 cars under a blanket right now. They're looking to go 3 wide off of turn number 4. Into the wall goes the 14. He's going to lose a couple spots. Doesn't seem to bring on a major issue, though. The guys behind him are... the yellow's out somewhere else, though. The caution. Back out here at Richmond. This is where it starts to get tough on these guys. A lot of them just want to get into the rhythm. They want to get... you know, you want to get things settled out. When you got guys staying out on old tires, you want to give it time so that people can spread out more. We'll see what happens. Going down into 1 here. Watching, contact from the 3 into the 77. Turned him sideways. Another good situation of car control by these guys. There hasn't been a whole lot of heavy impacts throughout the course of this race. I don't think we have more than 1 or 2 cars out of the race, so... Steve Dardaris just getting in there a little bit hard, gets into the 77. 77 saves it. Dalton Mobley straightened her back out and got her back going. But caution comes out once again here at Richmond. Kind of been the theme of the night. Cautions have bred cautions.
Go to our side-by-side, so guys be sure and stick around. But yeah, like I said, cautions breed cautions as we're going to let this one go and go to an ad break and get some popcorn.
You know that guy? The one just minutes before the green flag, keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam. And Adam needs some help. This, on the other hand, is Steve. Steve is a solid racer, and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups, and to race as often as he likes. But Steve knows a secret. Steve lets our crew chiefs do the setup work, so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 50 cars on the iRacing service, so no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody really should tell Adam.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing your roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter, we do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
Hey guys, Will Canterbury from Enville Insurance Group. Thank you so much for coming to our website. We are your one-stop shop for anything insurance, homes, autos, boats, motorcycles, renter's insurance, life insurance. If you are a business owner or you're a decision maker for a business, we are commercial insurance experts. Not only that, we are independent, which means we have most any carrier that you can think of. We can shop that for you, so you don't have to waste your time to talk to 5 or 6 different agents to get 5 or 6 different quotes to make sure that you are getting the best options. We can do all that for you. So give us a call, 615-505-1011, and we will be more than happy to help. We're Enville Insurance Group, located in Middle Tennessee. Give us a shout.
All right, just in time. We are going green. Raymond Root's going to bring us around on lap 1 and 22, but I think, there we go. RJ Root bringing him around. He's got Joe Stafford right behind him, Barrett Coffey, Daniel Simmons, and Josh Ward. Everybody battling here.
Almost 3 wide going down into turn 1 there on the restart with Josh Ward. You see Joseph Lester making a move on Kavaja Holt back there, and side by side racing for the top 5 here with Ryan Samuelson and Josh Ward. This is great stuff. You see Lester's, or not Lester, rather Joe Stafford has been able to, at least for this lap so far, hold pace with RJ Root, which is something we weren't able to say at the beginning of this race. So maybe some adjustments working in a different way for the 57 machine. He's looking strong. He obviously led some laps earlier when RJ stayed out on those tires. As Joseph Lester is still working the inside of Kavaja Holt. He's almost clear there, and that Jeff Ward being on the outside might slow Kavaja up just a little bit. Still got that run up off of turn number 2, but down to the inside goes Joseph Lester. Kavaja's not giving this up. Oh, caution has come out. Kavaja slides there just a little bit. Got trouble in 3 and 4 there. But, 21 involved in another one. Tough deal for him. Looks like Jarrett Phillips' bad night continues. Oh, the 12. Just got that wall, and we saw it kind of happening at Darlington last week where people were getting bounced off the wall and in a aggressive fashion, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, 12 bounced off the wall here, and just, oh no, he just got loose. He got loose off the corner, and then it bounced off the wall, and that unfortunately sent him down into the 21, sent him sideways. You see the 9 making contact there, just getting down to the inside. But around goes the 21 machine one more time. Dave Regal has not had a great night so far. I know he got caught up in another incident before, but he's still trucking. He's missing a front end, but trying to keep points on the board.
You gotta do what you can do, especially if you're Lauren Jones in front of him. Yeah, we talked about these guys. We barely mentioned it, but these guys are fighting here. Nothing cut off. We're not in a cutoff round. I want to be sure I reiterate that. But going into it to be above that cut line really can mentally make a difference for you here. As Kavaja Holt's finding that out, driving like a madman, trying to get up to that spot where you can get a little bit safer position, because it's safer, obviously, better.
Yeah, like you mentioned, this is not an elimination race, but next week we show up to Bristol, and it is. And I tell you what, anytime you can go into Bristol with a little bit of a safety net, a guy like Joe Stafford is probably he's the only one right now with that safety net. But the best way to go into Bristol is with a win under your belt, because we've seen how hard these guys are racing at a 3/4 mile short track with multiple lanes. We've been seeing guys run the middle and the inside, and even a little bit on the outside. But we go to Bristol next week. It's gonna be pretty tough to pass. It's almost a one-lane track. Once the tires wear in, you get up to the top. Guys might be able to work with their setups to make the bottom lane work a little bit longer, but yeah, all of these playoff guys are going to want to try to get as big of a bubble as they can going into Bristol, because they know only one guy can seal themselves into the next round tonight. Got RJ Root. He's led a lot of this race, trying to make sure he's one of those guys who can get into the next round no problem. And then you've got Joe Stafford in second place, trying to make sure that RJ Root can't lock himself in, because that's a guy who's won 6 races. If he keeps that momentum up, looking at how he's run tonight, I'd say he's a strong contender for the championship. But looks like we're getting ready to double up here. Stafford moves to the outside there on Root. Pace lights are off. Past halfway, man. We got 70 going this restart. We've seen a lot of caution since our first one. Do you don't see the trend changing, do you?
I don't. The way they're taking damage and people all trying to get out here and earn points, I'm feeling we're going to have a lot more cautions coming our way. I think we're going to get a green flag run here for here or there, but we'll see what happens as they're coming down the backstretch, door to door.
Yeah, getting down to crunch time. We're past halfway. These guys probably only have 2, maybe 3 tire sets left at this point. If you have 3, you're lucky. Green flag back out. RJ Root takes a quick start there. He saw Samuelson get a little bit loose there on the start, little tire spin, but no major issue for him. He's going to try to look to the inside of Simmons, but not quite there. He's on the inside right now of the 4-car, Barrett Coffee, getting a nice run up on the outside. Side by side, Kavaja Holt trying to get around Josh Ward. He's been trying to work him over for the last couple laps. Before that caution, he had gotten to his inside. I believe he was racing with somebody else too, and they were just catching the 63 there. So Jamie Knopf trying to work his way back up through the field. Devin Medeiros also trying to get a couple spots back after being involved in some stuff. Bennett Allen working his way to the inside of Randy Spivey. Remember, Randy had that excellent points battle at Daytona where locked himself into the playoffs in the last race. So he's hoping to be able to move forward. He was already at the back of the playoff field before last week, so he's just hoping for a strong run, get as many points as he can. And Devin Medeiros working the inside of the 59 Chad Sander. We saw Sander slow earlier in the race, but it seems like he's got pace back in that machine. Steve Cornez got a little bit, had to let off the gas just a bit coming up off of turn 2 there. You see side by side Nicholas Breidenbach, another driver who needs to run as strong as he can. Currently running P16, not ideal for where he wants to be, but with the trouble that these other playoff guys have had in front of him, this might not be the worst day for him. Side by side with Austin Story there, another guy who's had problems. Chris Cloud, he's another guy who's had a race of adversity. He was a lap down at one point, got the free pass, back on the lead lap, now running 20th. He was running up towards the front in the point standings, I believe. Yes, he was 10th coming into this race. So finishing in front of guys like Donnie Gatton is going to be good. Lauren Jones as well. But not a lot of playoff guys below Chris Cloud, and that might make Bristol a little bit tougher for him. As we see Lauren Jones on the pit lane. That might be it. 5 laps down at this point. got involved in a couple of incidents, and yeah, just a tough deal for Lauren.
Yeah, definitely. You hate to see that. You hate to see a driver like the 11 that worked so hard to get in the playoffs, getting in here and essentially getting some damage. It's going to take him out, but there's going to be plenty of opportunities. You know, some people that we didn't expect to had some bad races last week, and Bristol, like you said, Bristol is one of those where you don't want to you don't want to have to be in a must-win or a must-survive situation at Bristol.
No, nobody's safe. I mean, we've seen it in the Cup Series, even leaders checking up for wrecks that happen in front of them, getting run into by other cars or running into people. So even the best in the world have trouble with that, especially when the corners are so tight. It's not quite like Richmond here. Richmond's got a couple of tough spots, especially coming up off of turn 2. That wall tends to jump out at you, and we saw with Matt Gaskins earlier coming up off of turn 2, that transition that's definitely easy to get sideways on. So this isn't a cakewalk by any means in comparison to next week. It's just, it's short track racing in a whole different sense.
We're checking in on Warren Young in that Dale Earnhardt throwback. Looks really good. Trying to battle off Randy Spivey, trying to make something work, but he's not going to be able to. And you just kind of see what it takes to make a pass. That failed momentum pushes you so far back. You got to build that run up again and make it happen. We got up front RJ Root, Daniel Simmons, Joe Stafford. Not too much battling going on, but Barrett Coffey and Joseph Lester wants to come in and spoil this. Daniel Simmons, the only non-playoff driver with Joseph Lester in the top 7 cars. All these guys finding their way to the front, showing why they earned it up there.
Yeah, obviously these playoff guys are running up front. We got RJ Root leading, Joe Stafford, Barrett Coffey, and those guys up in the top 5 there. But it's cool to see a name like Daniel Simmons get out there. He's racing his butt off there. He's only about a second off of our leader here. He's probably hoping for a longer run to maybe let him fall back to him. But he's had himself an eventful race. We mentioned how he got turned sideways before as they get around the slow car of the 21 on the inside. But running second, running a strong pace. RJ Root's he's the class of the field so far. He's been able to cut through the field better than anybody else, and every time he's gotten to the lead, he's gapped him. But yeah, it's been good stuff.
Lester here. I was watching. He was trying to get past Barrett Coffey and just Barrett holding that bottom down. Everybody on the same tire strategy right now up front. So all these guys trying to find an edge with their setup. As we're going to take a look at Seba Cornez. We get passed by Randy Spivey and Warren Young thinking about it as well.
Yeah, like you mentioned, everybody on the same tire strategy all the way up to 9th place. 9th place, Bennett Allen took a pit stop on that last caution. So he's got a couple lap pressure tires. It might not matter too much in that case, just given the fact that the laps were run under yellow and he had that quick caution. But yeah, everybody up towards the front. Seba Cornez actually on the freshest tires, having pitted on lap 118. Almost everyone up at the front on the same tire strategy, and it kind of makes the racing more fun. I mean, you love to see tire strategy throw things up in the air, but a lot of these guys who've been strong all night get to showcase what they've put their work into, and RJ Root is pulling away right now. He's up to almost 1.4 seconds of a lead over second place Daniel Simmons, and third place Joe Stafford about a second behind him.
And if you're RJ here, or I'm sorry, if you're Daniel Simmons and Joe Stafford, you're kind of just hanging out and waiting for RJ to hit that maximum wall that he's going to hit up in front of him. All those lap cars. Kind of suffering from success if he gets up there, but we haven't had that long of a run yet for it really to play a factor. That's kind of what they're hoping. Hey, you hit that wall or we get a caution, we're right back up to you. We ain't got to push and kill our tires to get up to the back of you just to ride with you for a little bit.
Yeah, and that first run, we run 30 laps. We started to get into lap traffic, but we didn't quite have the opportunity to see as we got a tight spot with Steve Dardaris pushing the 9 up to 77. Had to check up there to avoid a bigger incident. This 51 now looking to the inside.
Let's see how
that's
the
a
9
lap.
of Donnie
Oh, that's John
Gatton.
Bewalder the third.
Yeah, we'll see if the 9 of Donnie Gatton gets any payback here, as he's in the position to do it. These guys
it's short
fighting
track
for
racing.
points.
50 to go.
He's that red spoiler, so he's going to think different of it. But that Steve Dardaris is on the move, trying to get past Nicholas Breidenbach. Huge playoff implications here, folks.
Yeah, but Medeiros up top. It's 3 wide, and Steve Dardaris is going to complete the pass. He's going to almost clear the 24 coming up off of turn 4, and I think he's going to have him going down into 1. The 24 yields, lets him go, and doesn't fight him too hard. He's going to try to maybe cross him over, as you saw Johnny Gatton move to his inside. But now we've got Barrett Coffey trying to chase down Joe Stafford. Joe Stafford led a lot of laps early after RJ Root had the issue falling back after staying out on old tires. Sideways from the 57 coming off of turn 2. That's going to be a good deal for Barrett Coffey. They're trying to get that spot back, trying to get that extra point in the playoffs. They're so important. We've seen how these battles can be decided by 1 point or even less. Sometimes you might have to go back to who's finished better in this round. But looking to the inside there, he's got a nice run there as the lapper is going to probably help him. He's going to try to use him as a pick. He's not going to give Joe Stafford any room, but the lapper yields, gets out of the way, riding on board here. You see he's almost clear, but look at the run the 57 gets coming up off of turn 4. He's hugging that wall. He's side drafting as much as he can at this short track, trying to keep third place from Barrett Coffey, but he got the wall coming off of 2. He might have checked up, but either way, he has to yield that position, and now we've got a new third place runner in Barrett Coffey, the 4 car.
Definitely, Barrett Coffey showing just how persistent you have to be after a run. You're gonna give that spot right back up if you don't get back there and start defending off that pass. As Joseph Lester is going to take advantage and try and work to the inside of Joe Stafford. Says, Joe, you don't need those points. Let me get up there trying to win this butt kicker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so he's loose. That 45 Toyota is loose coming off of that turn, as he's going to give up that momentum. Farther back, we got Joe Stafford. Of course, Josh Ward. But Chad Sanner working on Nicholas Breidenbach. Nicholas falling back.
Yeah, not a good time for him right now, as he's getting passed by the 51 of John Bewalda there. Yeah, well, he yielded that spot. He kind of slid back a little bit as we go back to the race for the top 5. Joe Stafford now under fire from Josh Ward, moving to his outside. Joe Stafford coming to the pit lane, looks like. I wonder, can these guys make it to the end on 70 laps?
No, surely not. I mean, he's got 60. Well, I mean, he's got 40 laps left, so we know he can make it here. So the short pit possibly come into effect, trying to shortchange RJ Root and Daniel Simmons. He found that he was falling back. His car's not set up for that. He's going to come in and try and get out there and be able to push.
Yeah, it's a little bit early to be splitting this in half. Obviously, it's not stage racing, but we have 70 laps to go with that last restart. We just hit lap 160, so we're approaching the longest green flag run of the night so far. Potentially making that undercut, I mean, that could be a good deal with how worn the tires get here on the longer run. And I mean, if he's gaining time, it'll be a matter of if RJ Root and Daniel Simmons give themselves enough laps after their pit stop. We're going to see him come off the pit lane. Obviously lost a lap there, but he's going to have fresh tires, not pushing the issue super hard on cold tires, but he's going to move to the inside of Steve Dardaris, as Dardaris has to check up coming up off the corner there on older tires. So that is the major question. Caution is out.
Oh, no.
The caution has just come out, and that's going to trap Joseph Lester's a lap down too. He made a pit stop. So that's going to trap both Joe Stafford and Joseph Lester a lap down. They're going to have to take the wave around here, as I'm sure everyone will pit for tires after a 30-lap run. This changes everything, boys!
Yeah, he's going to get the wave around, but he's going to have to work through all of that issue there. As I think Dalton Mobley, see the 79 of Matt Gaskins.
So we're coming together off of turn 2, more than likely. Nope. They're checking up already. The caution has come out for something else.
I will find this accident.
Yeah, well, we take a moment to figure out what happened to bring out that caution. Just want to shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Sunday night NASCAR. It's the DBR 200 here at Richmond. Contact there. Samuelson got turned. That's a tough deal for Samuelson. He wanted a strong run tonight. That's a 71 involved in another incident. John Bawalda Jr. has not had an easy night at all. It's a good thing it's sim racing because that fab shop would have a lot of work to do this week with
it's Ryan
just
Samuelson.
kind of the way
that was
that
hard hit at the back end of that by Ryan Samuelson, a playoff driver in the top 5. That's the one you do not want that to happen to.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see that happen anywhere, but a playoff guy working on a top 5 run, that's a really a tough deal for him. Do you see these guys coming up off the pit lane? RJ Root, I believe, won the race off. You see this nice panning as these guys go through turns 1 and 2 off the pit lane. A couple more cars coming off the track there. There's Johnny Gatt and Steve Dardaris.
They're just trying
Now
to
we
beat
see the
that
damaged
pace car
cars
out.
just trying to get back. Yeah, just trying to beat the pace car out.
I wonder if Chris was able to beat the pace car out. I wonder how big of a story that would be, him taking him a lap down. That'd be hard to
I
overcome
believe
here.
he did. It looked like he did, but we'll wait for scoring to let us know for sure.
So we've got RJ Root here. He's coming down pit road. Right in front of him is Joe Stafford and Joseph Lester. So these guys are going to get their spots. Or not their spots, I'm sorry. They're going to get their laps back. So Joe isn't too upset. And plus he's only pitted 4 times. So he's got an extra set of tires if something was to go sideways here at the end of the race. I think you definitely, I don't know, maybe not definitely, but you want to come in and get some, you want to have the option of rubber if the guys in front of you have it.
Yeah, definitely. And we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We got 35 laps to go now, 36, probably about 33 when we get the restart. So even if we go green to the end, that's it's about as long as we've been green so far tonight. So I don't know. Everybody pitted this time, so that'll mean nobody's got to worry about fuel or anything. That obviously stinks for the 57 and 45 who had to take the wave around there, but I guess that's part of racing.
Yeah, and if you're Joe Stafford, you're not super worried about it. You know, he's already locked in. That opens up behind him a lot, very unfortunately, but he's locked in. If he's going to make a gamble and try and win this race, you might as well.
This was the perfect time.
And same thing for Joseph Lester. He doesn't really have much to give up as well. He had a really good race last week up until a couple incidents took him out of the race. So we know that he's not really hurting for points. Just coming out here trying to help these guys out in the playoffs and drive around trying to get some wins.
Yeah, trophy hunting. Doubled up here down the back. RJ Root with the lead. Daniel Simmons in second. Third place, Barrett Coffey. Fourth place, Bennett Allen. Rounding out our top 5 is our big mover of the night. We've brought a lot of attention to Kavaja Holt. Pace car is in. Here comes RJ Root coming up off the corner. Green flag back in the air. RJ Root goes. He's got a 2-car length lead by the start-finish line. To the inside looks Barrett Coffey on Daniel Simmons. He's not going to quite get there as they enter into the corner. Simmons outbreaks him just a little bit. So you see these guys fan through the corner here. A lot of side-by-side action throughout the rest of the field. Looking at Chris Claude, Devin Medeiros over there. And now back up front, see Josh Ward sliding wide a little bit in front of Seba Cornez. Ryan Samuelson with a good recovery after that spin. Still up there in the top 10. Running 7th right now. Inside of Seba Cornez. Going to get that... Going to keep that position, and now look to the inside of Josh Ward as Loose gets the 15. Kavaja Holt coming up off the corner. Up into the wall, near the wall at least, was the 63. Caution's out again, though, as we've got a massive melee in turn 2. This is where this is where the fun begins.
Let's see, Troy Hutchinson, John Espewalda, a lot of people involved in this one. Seems like that's where it started. John Espewalda gets into Devin Medeiros.
Aguirre's with a good save there, but Bawalda unfortunately appears had overcorrected and come back up the racetrack. Sideways, you see, overcorrects. It's an unfortunate deal. Troy Hutchinson nowhere to go, and oh man, both Joes. Joe Stafford had nowhere to go. Joseph Lester barely got by. If he did, he might have scraped up against that left side on the 71 car. Not the 71, sorry. 51. Yeah, Stafford with nowhere to go as the car stopped up in front of him. That stinks for him. I mean, obviously he's into the next round at the win at Darlington last week, but took a big gamble on the pit strategy. He got an unfortunate yellow, and then just had nowhere to go at the end of that thing. So
yeah, let's go ahead and pull him in. Where is Joe Stafford? If you can hear me, where you at, man? There he is. He's in. Joe Stafford is in Field Filler Racing. Well, let's go ahead and bring him in. Interesting move. Hey, Joe, it's James and Liam in the booth. You got us.
Gotcha.
Hey, man, I was just going to talk to you after your incident there. Tell us what was going through your head. What was going on before that?
Well, I lost all the talent I had, I guess, there. So I went into one not knowing that they were wrecking, and then by the time I seen it, I just locked up my brakes, and now I got a flag for targeting.
Yeah, I saw you led with the crown of the helmet. Definitely, we're reviewing it for 10 minutes, but we'll definitely get that down to you. But yeah, Joe, luckily you really had nothing to lose going into this race. Just out there running, trying to spoil some other playoff drivers' hopes. So how does that play into your strategy, taking that early pit?
yeah.
Yeah, there I pitted a little bit early. My right front was just gone. I was pushing center out, so I'd see if that pit strategy would work out, and it obviously didn't. Oh well. Hopefully RJ could get this wrapped up and we could get a win for the team. 2 wins in the playoffs sounds really good.
Yeah, the new team, Joe. I wasn't going to mention it, but you did. Coming over to Field Filler, drinking the Kool-Aid. How's it been so far this race?
Oh, it's been great. These guys been really good. They've been welcoming, and hopefully we could get some championships.
Definitely is. The odds are definitely in y'all's favor. So we're going to let you go, man. You got anything for him, Liam?
No, man, I like the strategy call. I thought the undercut could have worked out, but unfortunately that yellow was bad timing for you, and then you had nowhere to go with that incident. But yeah, definitely appreciate you joining us here. It's been a wild race to watch. I know you led some laps early. I don't know. What you got for the leader here?
Yeah, I'm just going to ride around here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the race. And yeah, hopefully talk to you guys next week.
Rock on, bud. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. We're about to go green here. His teammates RJ Root's going to bring him around, take them green. Lap 174 of 200.
Down to the nitty-gritty. Great start from Root. Simmons trying to push as hard as he can. Might have slid up just a little bit there on entry to turn number 1. So you see the 32 getting sideways off of turn number 2, trying to get down to the inside of Kavaja Holt there to take 4th place. 63, Josh Ward has been running that outside. It's been working back and forth, I guess. Samuelson is inside right now. Look at that battle between the 32 and the 15. Caution is back out on the speedway. 14 involved in another one. That's Troy Hutchison. Looks like we've got a slow machine on the front straightaway. The 70. No, that's not the 70. That's let's take a look at what happened here. The 77 gets loose coming up off the corner, gets that apron, and when he tried to correct coming up off the apron.
Yeah, but able
just
to
upset the car.
Everybody able to get by that.
Yeah, I thought the 14 was involved, but no, he just checked up for the incident. It's always a little scary when you see a car stopped in front of you like that on the front straightaway here, but Everybody gets through, just a single car spin, get a little bit loose off the corner, and then the transition, not helping with the correction, spinning the 77 back up to the top of the track.
Definitely not. It's flat up there, so you're liable to go just either way. Let's see, that is, I believe, our 13th caution, folks. So if you had 13 on the caution bingo here at Richmond, you have won the picture of a butt kicker. Send it your way.
But one thing to note about it, we have had a lot of cautions throughout the course of this race, but we haven't had any huge deals. We've had a couple of cars, or a couple of crashes with maybe 5 or so cars involved, but we haven't had a major crash of sorts. It's just been a lot of single car stuff. So you like to see that in terms of keeping cars on the track. I think we've only got 6 cars that are out of the race right now. A couple of guys took some pretty hard hits earlier. Cody Strom doesn't look like he started. Derek Jacobs is out. Benjamin Harp, Jarrett Phillips, Bob Nestor, Lauren Jones out of the race. And Dave Regal might also be out of the race at this point now. I don't know if he's still making laps, but yeah, he's sitting in the pits right now getting some repairs done. Whether he'll get back on track, we not sure. But take a moment, but look at the playoff graphic here. Coming into this race, there was a lot of things that needed to happen right for a lot of guys like J.C. Gibson, Barrett Coffey, Kavacha Holt. Holt's worked his way up through the field. We've made a talking point of that all night. And he's currently got himself up into 5th position right now. So an excellent drive from him. Definitely our biggest mover of the night. Another big mover so far, we've got, it's like Josh Ward. He started 18th. He's up to 7th right now, up 11 spots from the start, and it has not been an easy show for him at all. He's been pushed up. He's been pushed wide. He's been battling almost everybody out on the racetrack. He's holding himself in 7th place right now. He's not a playoff driver, so a win doesn't matter in terms of moving him forward in the playoffs, but it always feels good to run well, and when you show up at a short track at the end of these things, they tend to get pretty crazy. He might have a shot. Got looks like 5 playoff guys in the top 10, maybe 6. RJ Root obviously leading the race. Barrett Coffey, Kavacha Holt, Ryan Samuelson, Seba Cornez, and Austin Story making it back into the top 10 after being involved in an incident earlier. He's running 9th place right now, and Warren Young rounds out our top 10. Another big mover, up 10 spots from the start of the race. It's like we're getting ready to restart them up again here. Less than 20 to go. The Davis Brothers 200 has turned into the Davis Brothers 20.
Yeah, there we go. 20 more laps here to go, folks. What pit strategy is going to come into effect if we have another yellows? We got some fresh tires in the back.
Yeah, I know it's been a couple of quick yellows there, but you get 5 or 10 laps on these tires, that really opens up the window. I mean, it's only a couple tenths that you'll gain, but they'll make a big difference here as the pace car rolls in. RJ Root leading them down once again. Green flag back out in the air, and an excellent start out of the 69 machine. Going to get another couple car lengths here on the 46, as there's the 32. Barrett Allen making a move to the inside. Simmons, sideways is the 32. Sideways, he saves it. Keeps it from spinning, but he's going to lose a few more spots. Kavacha Holt to his outside. Ryan Samuelson makes a pass. Stephen Cornez trying to capitalize on the sideways situation from the 32 car.
Back up front here, RJ Root and Daniel Simmons holding him off every time they get that ebb and flow, that spring in the back. As we got Josh Ward getting a little high, trying to get past Bennett Allen. Lost a ton of momentum on that failed pass, getting pushed to the inside as we see Austin Story trying to make his way up a couple positions as well.
Josh Ward is really like that outside so far today. See Austin Story trying to work his inside. The run off the corner has been beneficial to the 63 machine, but on these new tires, he might have just been losing a little too much trying to run it there. He runs the bottom through 3 and 4 there and gaps the 23 just a little bit, but you see Kavacha Holt trying to work Ryan Samuelson. He's got a good run on the inside. Samuelson gets a little loose and a little bit of a touch there. Samuelson gets hit from behind by Seba Cornez. Everybody keeps it straight. Barrett Allen tried to take advantage. Bumps into the 16, Seba Cornez. Everybody keeps it straight so far, but side by side off of turn number 4 are the 32 and the 81. Barrett Allen clears Ryan Samuelson.
Barrett Allen is driving like a bat out of hell, trying to make his way up, get all the points that he can for that regular, that non-playoff driver standing, as he's just getting through folks, putting in the work in that driver's side window, letting him know, hey, I'm here, you better get out of the way.
Josh Ward trying to make the move back to the bottom as you see a sideways car that looked like the number 9 of Donnie Gatton Jr. coming, or not Jr., Donnie Gatton coming up off of turn 2. Now side by side with Steve Dardaris. Looks like he's going to have to lose that position as he tries to get a little bit of, or take away a little bit of heat in those tires. We got side by side action here. Seba Cornez trying to hold off Bennett Allen.
Which has been a tall order for the entire race. Once he gets there, puts that right front, plants it, able to stay on the inside there.
He has been relentless. He has not been one to want to yield any position so far tonight as he works the inside. You see Ryan Samuelson now on the inside of Austin Story. Both guys have had issues so far tonight, as it looks like Barrett Allen's going to complete that pass. He's going to clear him going down into turn, or coming out of turn 4 rather, sideways for the 32. Cornez had to check up a little bit to keep from wrecking him, but man, this stuff is getting good. Lap 190, we're coming to 10 to go this time by, and we've got less than half a second between our leaders. RJ Root trying to bring this one home. Daniel Simmons in second. Sliding up as Ryan Samuelson almost hits the 23 right there. That nose cam is beautiful to really see how close these guys are racing. Down through turns 1 and 2. You see this back cam. You see Joseph Lester racing side by side with Warren Young, trying to get that position in the top 10, trying to take 9th place away. Still side by side are Samuelson and Story. Story to the wall. No, that's a lapper. That was a slow car on the outside that kind of sketched me out from that camera angle. But
He's going pretty slow there.
yeah, that was a scary moment for all these guys coming across the front straightaway. Good clean heads prevail, getting around that lapped car. But looking at Seba Cornez, a playoff driver running 6th place. Got 8 laps to go in this event. And there's been no shortage of excitement. These guys have been racing all over the racetrack, whether it's racing for the lead or racing for 31st. These guys have been giving it their all. And really have just, I mean, they've blown my mind. Every week they do, but this week has really been some insane racing. No, we've had a lot of yellows. It's kind of chopped up the pace of this race, but this racing truly is insane. These guys are giving it their all. So we're coming down to the very end of this thing. We've got 6 laps to go when the leader crosses the line, and still less than half a second between Daniel Simmons and RJ Root, our leader. He's holding tight. Couple of adjustments under pit lane might have helped him out a little bit. Look at Kavaja Holt. We now jump back to, we've got Kavaja Holt here. He's up 29 positions from the start of the race. That is huge. I mean, that was exactly what he needed coming into this day. He was outside the top 12 in the playoff points. Started from the back, has worked his way up into 4th place. This is a strong run for Kavaja Holt as we have 5 laps to go. You see Joseph Lester getting to the inside of Seba Cornez there. Randy Spivey trying to follow as still the battle between Warren Young and Joseph Lester continues. These guys have been working each other for multiple laps so far.
Yeah, and Randy Spivey and Seba Cornez, 2 playoff drivers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they are, yep.
You're just watching from the background saying, please don't wreck into me. You guys do you. We're going to try and get by you once you do.
Joseph Lester not able to complete the pass on the 8 car. He might try again here getting towards the end. But Randy Spivey trying to get down to the inside of Joseph Lester. He's not a playoff guy, but that's still a point. Still a point for Spivey as we watch Josh Ward work his way to the inside of Seba Cornez as Spivey gets a little bit slow off of the corner and trying to take advantage is the 63. Coming to 2 laps to go here at Richmond International Raceway, and RJ Root has completely driven away with this thing. Down the back straightaway with about a 6-car length lead, 8-car length lead. He dominated the start of this race. He went back to the back of the field after a pit strategy didn't work out the way he wanted, but as he takes the white flag, the next flag will end the race. We won't have a caution, obviously, on the white flag. RJ Root working his way through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. Simmons is getting a little closer, but not going to be enough. Through 3 and 4, RJ Root, after 200 laps at Richmond, is going to win the Davis Brothers Roofing 200, gets sideways across the line, and locks himself into the next round of the playoffs.
Locks himself in after a fantastic race. Daniel Simmons in second, like I said. Barrett Coffey picking up much needed points here, folks, as he was 10 points down, finishing third. It's fantastic for him. Cavaggio, same thing.
It'll take a minute before we, probably won't have an updated standings before this broadcast is over, but you look at how they came into this race, and you see guys like Barrett Coffey, you see guys like Cavaggio Holt running 3rd and 4th. That is huge. I mean, look at Steven Breidenbach. He had himself a day. Nicholas Breidenbach, I apologize. He wound up finishing 18th. So that's 14 points Cavaggio Holt gained, 15 points that Barrett Coffey gained. That could be huge in terms of the bubble for next week at Bristol.
Definitely a lot of cars there able to make some points, and then some bad luck as we had last week that put the people that had the good points in that position, if that makes sense.
I might not be good at math, but I think, you can't quote me on this, but I think after this race, barring bonus points that I may have failed to understand, but I believe we're going to have Nicholas Breidenbach, Barrett Coffey, and Cavaggio Holt tied for points after this. Nicholas obviously riding that 12th spot, and Barrett and Cavaggio Cavaggio was 14th, Barrett was 15th. But if my math is right, we could have a 3-way tie for the race for the bubble spot next week at Bristol. And I tell you what, you get a night race at Bristol, you don't need anything to make that more exciting. But you get guys racing for elimination race with the playoffs, especially with a points battle that tight. Next week is going to be insane.
Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and bring in these drivers and see what they have to say about it. First, we're going to bring in Barrett Coffey. Barrett, congratulations on the podium. Much needed playoff points.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So tell us about the race. Tell us what you were thinking about coming to that restart. I know you had some issues early on.
No real issues tonight. Got a little dust up with Lester there in the middle. Just we were trying to pass that lap car. Could have used a little more space. But other than that, pretty clean race. Tried to keep track position. Wish I would have qualified a little bit better, but, kind of made it up early. Tried to keep the track position. Had a real good long-run car. Apparently some guys were even concerned on fuel at that 80 to go restart. I was 10 to the good, so I didn't even know that was an issue. But had a really good long run car and had a couple scenarios that could have played out that way. But we got that call when we last pitted there with 45 to go, whatever it was. Still thought we might get 30 lap green run, and it just never really happened. So didn't really have it set up for the short run, but was enough to hang in there for third. Real happy with that. And, missed last week, but that should get some good points today and give us an opportunity to go to Bristol next week and transfer to the round of 12.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about the point situation. It looks like it could get pretty close with you guys running right around that 12th place. But I feel like you kind of snuck around all race. We didn't talk about you a whole lot, but you didn't leave the top 10. What was it like racing out there? Obviously, you mentioned that long run speed, and it showed up at the end, but what was it like racing up there with those guys at the end?
It was fun. It was pretty clean. The nothing too real exciting in the top 5, top 10 there most of the day. We seemed like we tried to give each other, enough room and just kind of ride. We were all just kind of, I think most of us were just waiting for strategy to play out, waiting to see when the next caution might come, or trying to save it for the second half of the run. And most of the time, the caution came before we ever really got into it. So it was pretty clean race in the top 10 there, like I said, and just happy with that, and happy we come out of here with a good points day. Is what we need in the 4 team.
Yeah, great points day for you. You love to see it, especially after not being around last week. One last thing I want to ask you. You mentioned you were 10 to the good after that 80 to go restart. We saw the 57 and the 45 both come in trying to split that last run on the off chance it went green. Do you think you could have been in pretty good shape had that played out then? Or
that was
obviously, it's the end of the race.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I was good on fuel, so I was committed to obviously not coming in. But they would have got the tires, and so it would have, really came down to what they did with their tires. I think they could have made some grounds and made up the time they lost for pitting for sure. I don't think they would have got back. But again, I think everybody was kind of coming down to that point in the race and going, let's set our cars up and hope it goes green. And we had a couple decent runs. I think a couple 30, maybe a 40 lap run, but we never really got more than that. And you really need to get past lap 40 to really start playing the strategy game and see whose car was still there. We never really quite got there tonight, but like I said, it was fun nonetheless. It would have been interesting to see if it had gone green and how those guys played out. I think we would have had them, I've got to imagine there was at least 2 or 3 other guys, probably RJ and Simmons, and a couple of them probably weren't going to pit either. So we'd have probably would have finished about the same way. Probably really hurt the 57 and the 45 for going in, being that caution came out. But they probably would have made it back had that caution not come. But that's how it falls sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, I think 30 laps is the longest green flag run we had today. So long run strategies couldn't really play into effect. We appreciate you joining us. Anybody want to shout out here? You finished top 3. You finished 3rd place, man, at Richmond. That's short track. That's a tough race.
Yeah, absolutely. Just thanks to my team, always working hard. Lauren Jones had a early ending night. David Love ran a little rough. I think Steve got in some trouble. Kavaj is kind of our affiliate. He finished right behind me. We were in Discord together talking through that, trying to stay up there in the top. It was just, like I said, the top 10 was mostly clean. It was just middle on back was a little rough, so I hate that for some of my teammates. But man, we did a lot of practice together this week, and really appreciate those guys. And hoping most of us can transfer.
Awesome stuff. Well, we appreciate you joining us here. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish here tonight. Great points for you, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely. See you all in Bristol.
All right, next we're going to bring in Daniel Simmons, who finished 2nd place. Daniel, congratulations on the 2nd place finish tonight.
Thank you.
We saw you. We saw you get in a little bit of an incident. I believe it was the 23 or a deal where you got turned almost all the way sideways. You had excellent car control throughout the save. How'd you recover from that, man? I mean, that was wild.
Just a little bit of luck. All that was.
I mean, 2nd place is sorry there.
No, you good. Go ahead.
The 2nd place is a strong run for you. You're obviously not here in the playoffs here, but what does it mean to run 2nd? You kept getting better at the end, but
yeah, it was I mean, it's pretty good. That's probably the best run I've had here. I think I've raced 3 other races here. Just kept tuning on it throughout the cautions right there, and finally got it where it was pretty good. Still didn't really, I don't think, had anything for RJ on a long green flag run, but I knew if I could get clear on one of those takeoffs and get down behind him, I could probably put up a pretty good fight with him, but ended up slipping a couple of times. He got away, so I was hoping it was going to be a little bit better race than it was.
You're not taking that motor back to the shop, it looks like. So that the car is pretty beat up. Tell us how hard it was fighting through traffic, trying to keep your lead or keep up in the top 5.
Yeah, I couldn't get my engine to shut off right here, and I've stacked so much tape on the thing. If that thing would have went, I don't know, 5 more laps. I probably was going to blow it on the racetrack anyway. But it was, like I say, the setup was pretty good right there. I got to thank BC Workshops for that one. And I also got to thank Troy, Corey, and Jamie Knopf, my teammates. We kind of made some tweaks here and there, all of us with our setup. So that was pretty good. I mean, just being back here, track position was key, it seemed like. So I know there for a couple of the cautions, I didn't pit, stayed out there on older tires just to kind of keep the track position. But seemed like it all worked out pretty good. Just needed a couple more adjustments, I felt like, and I think would have been a little bit closer to that win.
Yeah, you definitely had a strong car today.
Yeah, just needed a little bit better.
Yeah, Dan, well, congratulations on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Bristol.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, next we got RJ Root. RJ, congratulations on the win, brother.
Thank you.
So tell us about
Yeah.
it. You spent a lot of time top 5, and then you got pushed all the way back. How was it trying to fight through the field like that?
The drive through the field was actually pretty decent. I mean, we couldn't get a long enough green flag run in to really show what we had for a long run. But I mean, it was really good on the short run and the mid run, and everybody moved out of my way pretty nicely. We had a little bit of contact with the 32 and the 4, but nothing to even worry about.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to you after the early caution where you got sent back, and your car was on rails. It was fun to watch you cut through the field, but once you took the lead, did you? I don't know. I mean, you ran away at the beginning of this thing. Did you feel in pretty good shape once you took the lead back?
Yeah. Once I got back to the lead, I really realized that this is my race to lose. I had the fastest car, and the only way that I was going to lose was if I did something wrong. And so both of my spotters were doing a great job at informing me on where Daniel was running, and if he was gaining or if I was pulling away, and really kept me focused and didn't allow me to make any mistakes.
Well, you didn't make any mistakes. Got that winning position there, and best of all, locked into the playoffs. You don't have to do good at Bristol necessarily.
What do you mean? I love short tracks. You don't expect me to do good next week?
You know, with
we
that
expect you
SRM
to-
paint job, you're going to do the best.
Yeah, we expect you to run up front again because you've been strong all season. Definitely appreciate you joining us here. A fantastic win by you, a dominating performance. Anybody else you want to shout out here at the end?
I'd like to shout out everybody at FFR, Joe and Ryan and Charles for keeping me up here. I'd like to thank my buddy Dale Leakus for letting me use his iRacing account because I am suspended.
Story time?
And silly send it week 13, and somebody decided to protest me.
Ooh, unofficial.
But
Ooh.
yeah, so I'd like to thank Dale. I'd like to thank the sponsors, you guys over at SRM, Outkast Sim Paints, Hawk Simworks, for and Pay to Win Setups for an amazing car week after week. Yeah, I think that's about it. We're ready for the rest of the season.
Definitely.
Well, rock on. You
We're
definitely have
ready.
it. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You're definitely in a better situation going into next week, being locked in. I know you said you like Bristol, but Bristol's always a fun time. So once again, appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on winning the Davis Brothers Roofing 200 at Richmond. Phenomenal show.
Thank you.
So there you have it, folks. RJ Root taking the first place finish, locking himself into the next round of the playoffs, but still excited about Bristol, another short track. So got nothing to lose, but he's going to go there anyways and put on a good show for you. That's going to be next week. Go ahead and run through your standings here. I'll let you take this one over, Liam.
Yeah, of course, we have RJ Root winning this race in dominant fashion. Daniel Simmons runs second. Barrett Coffey in third place with a good points day. Same with Kabaja Holt in fourth. Bennett Allen rounding out our top five. And then we've got Austin Story with a big recovery. Ryan Samuelson, apologies, also with a big recovery after incident earlier. Joseph Lester got himself back up to eighth place. Warren Young in ninth. And Randy Spivey, another playoff guy, rounding out our top 10. Josh Ward, Seba Cortez, Jamie Knopf, Steve Dardaris, and Donnie Gatton are the next five. And then we've got Chad Sander, Alex Brinson, Nicholas Breidenbach, who needed a good day, Matt Gaskins, and Devin Medeiros finishing out our top 20.
And I'll help
Dalton.
you out here. The 21st could be Dalton Mobley. John Espawalda finishing 22nd after a bunch of bad luck on the racetrack. Was able to bounce back, get 22nd. 23rd is going to be Chris Claude, Joe Stafford in 24th, Troy Hutchinson in 25th, 26th will be Marty Roberts, David Love behind him, Charles Eaton, 29th. 30th going to be John S. Bulwalda Jr., 31st Dave Regal, 32nd, very unfortunate for the playoff driver Lauren Jones, finishing 32nd in Ford Racing. 33rd is going to be Robert Nestor, Jarrett Phillips, Benjamin Harp, Derek Jacobs, and Cody Strom helping out with admin duties. Cody, we appreciate that very much. And that's going to end it for us, folks. Liam, I'm going to go ahead and let you send it off, man.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody who's tuned in so far. I mean, this race, it blew my mind, man. The racing up front was great. Strategy came into effect at the end. I don't think we could have asked for any more out of a short track here. A lot of playoff implications happen too. The points race is looking closer than ever as we look into the next race at Bristol. We don't have exact points, but I'm just, I did a little math in my head, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a pretty nice points battle next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is SRM finishing out the Davis Brothers 200 for Sunday Night NASCAR.